Good morning, everybody. I hope everyone had a great Easter weekend and that everyone had a good week and that you're healthy. Thanks to Debbie and Amy and Julie and Doug and Lindsay and everybody else joining us this morning. We will go ahead and get started, and I'm going to talk you through Shavasana. So if everyone can start lying flat on your back, we'll get started. Just letting go of any thoughts that don't serve you for the next 60 minutes. Stress, anger, fear, anxiety. The next 60 minutes, just bringing your awareness to you, how your body feels, and your breath. Noticing if you're holding anything tight, the shoulders, jaw, back, lower back, hips, legs. Taking the chin down slightly and taking a nice deep breath in, filling up the bellies and lungs completely with air. Pausing at the top of the breath and then slowly exhaling everything out. And on your next inhale, we're going to tighten everything. So as you're inhaling, maybe balling the hands into fists, curling the toes, shrugging the shoulders, tightening through the back and the legs, inhaling and tightening. And then at the top of the breath, pause and then exhale, releasing everything, relaxing everything onto the mat, maybe finding something that was tight. And doing that one more time, inhaling, and on the inhale, tighten all the muscles through the body. And then on the exhale, release, maybe releasing a little further. And then we're going to take 2 counted breaths. Slow inhale for 6. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause at the top of the breath. And then slowly exhale. Taking the belly button to the spine to squeeze out that last bit of air. And then again, slowly inhaling, this time for your own count of 6. Pausing at the top of the breath. And then slowly exhaling. And then at your own time, we're going to roll gently onto our sides using a pillow or a block underneath your head. If you want to make sure that the stretch is deeper, leg forward on your chest and reach out with your hand. Then gently roll back, reaching through the opposite hand. You can interlace the fingers, draw them down together, take a nice deep breath in. And on your second breath, maybe releasing the hands and stretching out further. Maybe taking that top foot and just stepping it back to the floor behind you. Inhaling. Slowly lowering the leg. Using the left hand to come to the opposite. So while you're on your stomach, you can lay your left hand out long beside you. And then slowly roll. Bring the opposite arm behind and release the fingers. Draw them long down behind the back. Inhaling. And then releasing the hands, gently stepping that top leg back, opening up through the hips and the chest, reaching back through the fingertips, inhaling. Lowering the legs, pressing up gently to seated position. And make sure we're grounded through the hip and the sits bones. So maybe just slightly lifting the lower body off the mat, gently placing it down. Shoulders are down and back, chest lifted as if you're taking a string from your heart, taking it straight up to the ceiling. Then we're going to just start with the left hand pressing against the wall, fingertips flexed up, palm pressing actively away from you. And on your exhale, rotate the fingers down. Slowly lowering that hand down. On the opposite side, pressing the palm away, flex the fingertips up. Gently tilting the head towards the opposite shoulder. Inhaling. And then exhaling, rotating the fingertips down. Lowering that hand down. Bring both hands up in front of you. Actively pressing the palms away from you, but keeping the shoulders down and back. Palms press, fingertips reaching out. Inhaling. And then exhale, rotate the fingertips down. Gently interlacing the fingers. Return the head, gaze over the left shoulder, tipping the chin up. Inhale. And on your exhale, take the chin to the shoulder. Slowly bringing your gaze back through center, over the opposite shoulder, tipping the chin up. Exhale, chin to the shoulder. Taking your gaze back to center, gently releasing the arms. We're going to take them straight up. Reaching the fingers towards the ceiling. But make sure not to put your shoulders up by your ears. Keep them down and back. Chest is still nicely lifted. Inhale, growing nice and long through the spine. And on the exhale, fold all the way forward. One more breath here. Inhaling, elongating again through the spine. Exhale, fold further. And slowly walking the hand. Take the legs out long in front of us. Ground again through the sits bones. Shoulders are down the back. Sitting up nice and tall. Chin down just slightly. starting with whichever leg you'd like first for hip circles. Just either holding the foot or cradling it in the elbow. Maybe reversing the circles going the other way. And gently lowering that leg down. On the opposite side, same thing. Slowly lowering that leg down. Bounce the knees just a little bit. Ground again through the sits bones. Nice and tall, shoulders down and back, chest lifted. Inhaling. And then exhale, forward fold. Staying here for one more breath. Inhale, elongating again through the base of the spine, all the way to the top of the head. Exhale, folding maybe a little bit further forward. And just resting here for one more breath, seeing if you can allow any of the muscles that are tight to the arms and legs and back to just release a little further. Inhale, slowly coming up and onto your knees. And take the right foot up first. Right arm resting on the right thigh. Making sure to plant the legs, rotating the hips. Right arm rests on the right thigh. Inhale, reach over through left fingertips as if someone's pulling this hand. And slowly come all the way up and over. You can come straight down to the mat or on a block. Reaching the opposite arm up and over. Head stays in line with the spine. Then slowly bring that hand down to the mat. Walking the hands to the center of the body. Keeping in line with the hips. Arch the back, tuck the chin, drop the head coming into cat. And then reverse it. Coming into cow, drop the tummy. Shoulders stay lifted, down and back. Ears away from the shoulders. Again, exhale. Inhale, drop the tummies. One more time, and while you're here, making sure that your foot, the base of your foot, ball and heel, is flat on the mat. Almost you could lift the toes, not scrunching up through the toes, so that you know that your hips are doing a rotation on the leg. One more, exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Slowly lowering that leg. And down onto the right knee. And coming up onto the left foot. Again, making sure that the heel and the ball of the foot are firmly on the mat, almost lifting up through the arch. And then rotating this left hip inward so the feet aren't pressing the toes into the mat. Coming up, left arm rests on the left thigh. Reaching over through the right fingertips. And then coming all the way back down. Right hand on the mat, left reaches over. Extending through that left arm. Head's in line with the spine. And then slowly bringing the hands down to the mat, coming into the center of the hips. Arch the back, tuck the chin. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Again, exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Last time. Cat. Cow. And slowly drop that right leg, coming into tabletop. So placing the palms on the mat right below the shoulders. Knees are going to be in line with the hips. 2 cat-cows here, but starting from the hips first. So slowly coming up. Then bellies up into cat. Drop the head, tuck the chin, press the mat away. Slowly reversing it. Bellies down, hips first. Again, slowly rolling up into cat. Drop the head. And cow. Sink back into child's pose. Sinking back into the low hips. Reach the fingers out long in front of you, maybe even walking the fingertips a little bit further as you rest your forehead on the mat. And gently rocking the forehead left and right. Releasing any tension in the neck. You can even come up onto your forearms and the top of your head for a little neck stretch. Slowly sinking back down to the forehead. Maybe walk the fingertips a little further. Inhale, slowly coming up. And you thread the needle starting on the right. Inhaling up through the right arm. And then thread through. Right shoulder comes all the way down to the mat. Right temple to the mat. Inhale up through the left fingertip. Keeping the hips and pelvis straight. Opening up through the chest. And you can take a bind. Placing that hand behind the back hip. And if it's there for you, taking that leg, that left leg out long behind you, foot flex, toes pointed down. Thread through. Left shoulder down, left temple down. Inhale up that right arm like someone's pulling you straight up the ending. Focusing on that twist. On the exhale, you can take a bind if it's there for you. Placing the hand behind the hip, you can also place the hand above the head on the floor. And that right leg can come out long behind you, foot flex, toes pointed down. Slowly bring that leg down, hand down, pressing back up into neutral. And from here, center again into tabletop. I'm going to take the right leg and just lift it side, like half awkward airplane, and then lower it down but let it hover. Lift it again. Lengthen through the leg and the toes. And if it's there for you, add the left arm to come into awkward airplane. Lower just the arm. Bend the knee. Lower the knee down. Letting it hover and then come straight up. Pressing the heel and the toes up. And then slowly lower the knee down, let it hover. One more time, coming up. Exhale down, letting it hover. Last time, bring it up. And then lower. Now take the leg long out behind you. And that same arm, right arm is going to come up along behind you. Trying to be as active as you can in the reach. Head's in line with the spine, reaching nice long through the right arm and the right leg. Then lower both that right hand and right leg. And do the same on the left. So the left leg's going to come out. Lift to the side, keep it bent. Exhale down. Letting it hover. Inhale up. Exhale down. This time, inhale up. Elongate your leg. Take the right arm out into upward airplane. Slowly bring that hand down. Bending the knee, take the leg down, let the foot hover, and bring the left up. Exhale down, keeping the knee hovering. And up. Exhale down. And up. And then exhale down. Slowly take the leg out long behind you. Lifting that left arm up nice and long. Slowly lower the hand and the leg down. Walk the palms one step forward. Slowly hinge forward at the hips and lower all the way down. Rotate the right shoulder, shrug it up to the ear, take it down the back. Left shoulder. Both shoulders, shrug them up. Down the back. One more time. And then slowly come up into mini cobra. Your palms should be able to leave the mat. Exhale back down. Inhale up. Pressing the palms slightly into the mat to come up a little bit higher. Exhale back down. Inhale up. This time pressing the palms into the mat. Bringing the shoulders down the back, chest lifted. Exhale, child's pose. Do that one more time. Inhale all the way up. Hinge forward at the hips. Lower all the way down to the mat. Inhale up. Full cobra. Pressing the palms into the mat. Shoulders are down the back. Chest lifted. Exhale, child's pose. And when you're ready, curl your toes under and come into downward facing dog. Just walking it out, maybe pedaling through the feet. Again, try and make sure that your toes are up off the mat. So maybe your heels and your ball of feet are pressing into the mat, rotating through the inner hips. Sometimes it's not always easy to get the heels down to the mat. Let's take the knees down just an inch from the mat, hold. And then imagine someone with a string at your lower back, taking your hips just straight up to the ceiling. Sinking back. Let's take the right leg up, nice and long, standing split. And slowly lower the leg, bend the knee, flex the foot. Turn and stack the hips. Shoulders should stay square. slowly step that right foot all the way forward between the hands. Right hand comes to the center of the mat. Left is going to open up. Slowly lowering that hand down. We're going to reverse it. Bring the right hand up. Big arm circles here. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. And if you'd like, you can lengthen that front leg on the inhale up. And one. Slowly bring that hand down to frame the foot. Lower down onto the back knee, foot the back toes up. Heel toe that right foot out to the edge of the mat. Making sure there's not a lot of pressure on that back knee. And stay here, roll to the outside edge of your right foot. And even come down onto your forearm. Slowly come back up into long arms. Heel toe that right foot all the way over towards the left. Pigeon this time. You can stay up. Right, you can come down onto your forearm. Or if you're upright, gently grab that back leg. Slowly coming back onto your long arm. Curl back to the lift the back knee. Slide the right leg back. Walk out your down dog. Just pedaling it out slightly. And then again, pressing back into it. The inner thighs rotate towards the back of the room. Keeping those feet planted. Then we're going to lift the right leg up. Three-legged dog. Lower the leg just slightly. Just grasp the hips, bend the knee, flex the foot. Turn and stack the hips. Shoulders stay square. And slowly bring that leg all the way in front. Left hand comes to the center of the mat. Gently opening up to the side. Reaching there. And then reverse it. Hand comes down. Open up the left arm to the ceiling. Big arm circles. Exhaling up. Inhaling up. You can lengthen through that front knee if it's there for you. Lower down onto the back knee. Flip the back toes out. Heel toe that foot to the edge of the mat, left edge. And if you want, come down onto your forearms and roll to the outside edge of your knee. Slowly coming back up into long arms. Heel toe that left foot over towards the right wrist, pigeon. And stay here. And come down onto your forearms. Just bringing awareness constantly in your poses to how your hips are aligned. So for this pose, both hips should be actively rotating inward. So the right leg should be rotating in, and the left leg should be rotating out. Slowly lowering that foot back down to the mat or coming up back up into long arms. Curl the back toes under, lift the back knee. Slide the left leg back and walking it out. And then hop, step, or float. Coming all the way forward onto your mat. And heel toe the feet out just wider than hip distance. Placing the legs into a forward, rotating the thighs towards the back of the room again, making sure that the balls of the feet and heels are planted into the mat. And using the two peace fingers, grab the big toe, cap it with your thumb. Fold forward, bending the knees, pulling the chest down. Inhale, lengthening through the legs, coming up. Letting the head hang heavy. Exhale, pull the chest down. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, pull the chest down last time. Inhale up, release the hands from the feet, grab opposite biceps. Gently swaying left and right. The arms, releasing any tension in the head and neck, gently shake, turning the head side to side. No, will not have negative thoughts and negative speech. And then shaking the head yes, with positive thoughts and positive speech. And just with every exhale, maybe floating a little further forward. Gently releasing the hands down to the mat, turning the legs out, with the toes out. So coming down into Buddha squat, so lower the hips gently. Hands come to heart center. And on your next inhale, press the palms together, elbows pressing into the knees. On your exhale, release. The hands coming up. Inhale, press the palms down, elbows push into the knees. Exhale up. From here, you can come into crow pose if it's there for you today, or you can continue in Buddha squat to press. Open through the knees. If you're coming into crow pose, making sure you plant the palms on the mat, knees come into the upper arms. Then gently placing your palms on the mat, press through the palms, pushing the hips straight up to the ceiling. Heel toe the feet in hip distance or 2 fists width apart. Inhale up into halfway lift. Elongate through the top of the head and the base of the spine. Shoulders are down and back, not up by the ears. On your next exhale, fold forward, bend the knees, press through the feet, sweep the arms all the way up, palms meet, hands come to heart center. And forward, fold. I'm going to do a few sun salutations. Inhale up, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat, right leg steps back, left leg steps back. Vinyasa. Slowly lowering down, elbows in, flip the toes up dog. Downward facing dog. Again, hop, step, or float forward. Feet stay hip distance. Inhale up, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward, bend knees. Sweep the arms all the way up. Hands to heart center, forward. Inhale up, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Right leg steps back. Left leg steps back. Vinyasa. Inhale up, dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hop, step your foot forward. Inhale up. Halfway lift, elongate through the base of the spine, the top of the head. Exhale, fold forward. Bend the knees, press through the feet. Sweep your arms all the way up, hands through heart center, forward fold. Inhale up. Exhale, hands to the mat. Right leg steps back. Left leg steps back, vinyasa. Inhale up, dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hop, step your foot forward. Inhale up. Exhale, fold forward, bend knees. Press through the feet, sweep your arms all the way up. Hands through heart center, forward fold. Inhale up. Exhale, hands to the mat. Right leg steps back. Left leg steps back. Vinyasa. Slowly lowering down. Exhale, downward facing dog. Last time. Hop, step your foot forward. Inhale up, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Press through the feet. Inhale, bring the arms all the way up and forward. Fold. Inhale up. Exhale, hands to the mat. Right leg back. Left leg back. Slowly coming into plank, lowering down, elbows to a 90. Flip the toes up, dog. Downward facing dog. Hop, step or foot forward. Inhale up, halfway lift. Grounding through the feet, making sure that they're hip distance. Forward fold, bend through the knees, sweep the arms all the way up. Find your mountain pose. So really grounding through the balls of the feet and the heels. Rotating the inner thighs back so the feet press into the mat. You could even possibly be able to lift your toes. And even lifting the arch slightly. Up the arch of the foot to come up. Just protecting into the ankles. Shoulders are down and back. Chest is lifted up. Chin down just slightly. Going nice and tall through the back of the head. Actively reaching the hands to the floor. And actively rotating the thighs. Both thighs inward. Belly button in the spine, tightening through the core. Finding your breath here. And with every standing pose, just recognizing where your hips are in the pose, whether both hips should be rotating inward or in warrior poses, One hip will be rotating in and the other hip will be rotating out if one leg's forward. That all keeps the hips in line. Inhale, bring arms all the way up, palms meet. Hands come to heart center. And at first come into tree pose, so kickstand, calf or thigh, whichever tree pose you like. And just like here, making sure the top leg thighs rotating outward and your left foot, the thighs rotating inward. That helps keep all the hips in line. Growing your tree if it's there for you. Sometimes if you focus on the alignment of the hips, it feels like a completely new pose. Slowly bring the hands down, heart center. I'm going to take that right leg and lift it straight up. And bring the palms forward, palms facing up. So knees lifted. We're going to just swing the whole body back, coming in towards airplane, taking the leg out long behind us. Come forward. Same thing, palms stay up. Lifting through the knee. We'll do that one more time. Up. And then bringing it forward. Slowly lower the leg. Walk it out. Hands back to heart center. 9 mountain pose again. Rotating through the thighs and the hips. Planting through the balls of the feet and heels. Lengthen through the lower spine. Taking any arch in the back out. Flattening through the low back. Belly buttons into the spine. Inhale, bring the arms all the way up. Palms meet, hands come to heart center. Then slowly come into tree pose. Any version that works for you. Making sure to actively rotate the left leg out. At the same time, you're rotating this right leg that you're standing on inward. And you even lift the toes of your right leg off the mat. And slowly bringing that leg down, up, lifting through the knee, and bring the palms forward. Hands forward, palms up. Then slowly taking the leg back. Coming into airplane. And then again, lifting it forward. Last time, taking it back. And then bringing it forward. Lowering that leg down, walk it out. down through the balls of the feet and heels. Just for mountain pose one more time. Noticing the difference in the legs, the hips, the rotation of the hips, planting of the feet. Inhale, bring the arms all the way up. Reverse swan dive, forward fold all the way down to the mat. Fingers. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Right leg steps back. Left leg steps back. Slowly coming forward into plank, lowering down. Elbows at 90. Flip the toes up, dog. Downward facing dog. Let's take the right leg up. Nice and long, standing split. And then step it between the hands. Come up into warrior one. So here again, this right foot, the thigh, and the leg is actively rotating out, or this back leg is rotating in. It keeps the hips in line, making sure the lower back is down and flat. You come into the pose, lift the arms up. Come into warrior two. Some arm work, so bow and arrow. Inhale up through the back arm. Arrow lift up, forward, pull back, release. Inhale all the way up and back. Arrow pull up, forward, pull back, release. Inhale all the way up and back. Keeping rotation of the legs. Arrow pull up, forward, pull back, release. Last one. Making sure the arms are reaching out as far as they possibly can, activating all the muscles. Forward, back, release. Back into warrior two. Keeping that leg rotation. Bring both arms behind you. Open up through the chest. Bring the arms down the back. Then we'll slowly take the nose and tip forward. Nose towards the knee. Inhale, coming back up slowly, releasing the arms. Right arm comes underneath the left. Inhale, up, slight back bend. Exhale, forward. Inhale, up. Exhale, forward. Inhale, up. Exhale, forward. Gently releasing the hands. Bring the hands down to bring that front foot. Slide that right leg back. Take the vinyasa, slowly coming down. Inhale up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift the left leg up. Nice and long. Step it between the hands. Coming up into warrior one, actively rotating through the hips. Right leg rotates inward. Left rotates out to inline the knee with the front foot. Shoulders down away from the ears, belly buttons in the spine. Open up into warrior two. Bow and arrow. Release. Inhale up. Arrow. Forward. Pull back. Release. Arrow up. Forward. Pull back. Release. Last time, reaching as far as you can. Arrow up. Forward. Pull back. Release. Warrior two. Bring that left arm behind you. And release the fingers down. Long down behind the back. Open up to your chest. Gently releasing the arms. This time left comes underneath. Inhale up, slight back bend. To exhale forward. Inhale up. Exhale forward. Inhale up. Exhale forward. Gently releasing the hands. Come down to frame the foot. Left leg slides back. Take a vinyasa, lowering down, elbows in. The toes up, dog. Downward facing dog. Up, step the foot forward. Coming into chair pose. So bringing the feet together, knees together, thighs together. Slowly sinking down. Arms come up. You can let the toes off the mat. On your next exhale, bring the elbows in. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Pressing through the feet. Palms come forward, hollow out the body. One more time, coming down into chair pose. Elbows together. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Last time, exhale, close. Inhale, open. This time we're going to take the palms together, but like the right hand over the top. Press up through the feet, hollow out the body, but reach through the fingers. Then slowly come down for a twist. Starting right elbow over left knee. Making sure to keep the legs nice and tightly together. Not letting one knee pop out any further than the other. You can open the palms if it's part of your practice, or stay hands at heart center. Slowly bring the hands back together, press to the feet. Sweep the hands all the way up. Lowering down, twist opposite side. Bring the hands back to heart center, press to the feet. Sweep the hands all the way up. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Right leg steps up. Left leg steps back. Slowly coming forward. Tight. One leg all the way down. Arms are coming long behind you. Palm down. On your next inhale, coming up into locust. Lifting through the chest, back, reaching back to the fingertips. Imagining the hips still rotating inward. Breathing here. Slowly lowering that one down. Right cheek to the mat. Once your leg over legs left and right. Slowly coming back up. So do locust again. Reaching back to the arms. We can come into down. Holding on to the ankles. Lifting up. Slowly lowering down. Left cheek to the mat. Reach your leg to the way to the right. Slowly lowering the leg down, bring the right arm across the mat. Stack through the shoulders, and the left leg to the inside of the left hand. Equal opposite pressure, pressing that hand against the foot. releasing the hand from the foot, lowering that foot down behind the right leg, bringing the right leg up. Down, reversing it so the left hand comes across the top of the neck. The right hand comes to the inside of the right leg. Gently releasing that leg down behind the left, pulling that left leg up, and pressing in behind the knee with the right leg. Gently releasing both legs. Come back to center and press back into child's pose. Maybe taking your knees a little wider. You can even take the arms behind you, grabbing the heels if it's there for you. And now slowly coming up into seated position. I'm going to set up for boat pose. So grounding again through the sits bones. Coming up. Going nice and tall through the top of the head, chin down just slightly. I'm going to come down and tap the knees. And you can do what we typically do with the beach ball. You can do a bow and arrow, so we're going to come over like this. Sweep the hands together, come back over. Almost neat. Back to the other side. Last time. Slowly bring the feet in. Arms come around the shins. Sink into the low back. Drop the head, tap the chin. Slowly coming up into seated twist. So taking the legs out long in front of you. Cross the right leg over the left. The left leg can stay long. Come behind you. Left hand palm down. As close as you can. Bring the arms over back. Inhale up through the right fingertips. Exhale down, elbow in front of the knee. Twist, gaze over the left shoulder. Reversing it this time. Left leg over right. Right hand comes down nice and tight to the low back. Palm down. Inhale up through the left fingertips. Elbow in front of the knee. Press. Turn, gaze over the back shoulder. spine through the knees as much as you can, even if the knees are up. Hand placement of choice, maybe turning and pressing the bottoms of the feet so the tops of the feet rotate into the mat. You can rest the hands on the floor or bring one arm behind the back, making sure you're sitting up nice and tall, shoulders are down away from the ears, chin down just slightly, so long spine, and on your exhale, just hinging at the hips, making sure not to drop the whole head and upper body, staying nice and straight. Inhale, coming up, releasing the weight, reversing that bind. Bring the opposite leg on top this time. Again, picking your hand placement, sitting up nice and tall. Gently hinging forward. You slowly roll down onto our mats to sit up for each. Making sure your fingertips can touch your heels. And then on your inhale, bring the bellies up, rolling the shoulders under, clasping the hands behind the back. Making sure you still have that internal rotation on your hips. Pressing the balls of the feet and the heels into the mat. Tapping the hips 3 times. And then we'll take bridge again. You can take wheel if you'd like to try, making sure you protect head and neck as you come down. If you're in boat or if you're in bridge pose again, you can bring one leg up, cross it over the opposite leg. Slowly come down, releasing the hands. One vertebrae at a time, tapping your hips 3 times at the bottom. Now come into happy baby, grabbing the insides of the feet, driving the knees down on either side of the chest, gently rocking left and right, massaging through the spine. You can even move the feet up or down slightly to massage different parts of the low back. Gently releasing the hands from the feet. We're going to take reverse shoulder stand. So most restorative is feet straight up to the ceiling. You can use a block or a pillow just under the low back, or even your hands. Mindful where your hips are, still having that internal rotation, pressing the feet into the ceiling, almost like you're in forward fold, halfway lift, long spine. Moving the pillows or blocks that you have under the low back, heel to the feet out just wider than the mat. You keep that left leg planted and drop the right leg into center. So your right hip and leg is rotating internally. This left leg is keeping it slight external rotation to keep the knee in line with the foot. Gently raise the right foot. Reverse it. Taking the left knee to center. Again, focusing on internal rotation of the left leg and the slight external rotation of the right to help open through the hips. Gently raising that left leg. Heel to the feet back together to come to supine twist. Right leg over left. Both legs falling to the right. Taking your gaze to the left. Or sorry, reverse that. Both legs falling to the left. Take your gaze to the right. Trying to keep that top leg rotating trying to keep the left leg with the whole hip rotating actively inward towards the body as you bring the legs forward. Shoulders should stay planted on the mat. Slowly bringing the hands back up. Coming into recline, butterfly, feet together, knees falling apart. Truth mudra if it's part of your practice. Prominent hand on your tummy. Less prominent hand on your heart. And in this pose, both legs are rotating externally. So actively externally rotating the inner thighs and relaxing through the hips. Allowing everything to fall heavy onto the mat. If a thought comes into your mind, acknowledge it, but let it pass by.
Skinny love, just last the year.
Maybe bringing your awareness back to your breath or a counted breath, or touching your thumb to each one of your fingers.
Staring at the sink of blood and crushed veneer. Someone left to wreck it all. Get out of the room to let me fall. Right in the moment, this artist told. And I told you to be patient, and I told you to be fine, and I told you to be balanced, and I told you to be kind. And in the morning I'll be with you, but it will be a different kind. Cause I'll be holding all the tickets, and you'll be owning all the flights. Come on, skinny love, what happened here?
Gently using your hands to close your legs.
Circle on the hope and light
And your
here.
feet planted. And slowly coming into your final Shavasana. Taking your legs out long in front of you. Letting all the muscles fall loose and let completely relax onto the mat. With every exhale, maybe falling a little heavier into the mat. Loosen that, completely relaxed.
Who will love you? Who will fight? And who will fall far behind? Come on, skinny
Slowly bringing your awareness back to your mat. Maybe wiggling your toes and touching your thumb to each one of your fingers. Taking a full body stretch like you do first thing in the morning. And gently rolling onto your right side. The reading for today, pay attention to choose carefully those with whom you live, eat, and play. There may be times when you can handle their energy and times it isn't right for you. Sometimes when we're feeling off balance, it may be that we're around energy that just isn't right for us. Stay conscious of who you travel with on this journey. See who you're attracted to and notice who is attracted to you. See how much better you feel when you're surrounding yourself with energy of love. Using your left hand to gently push yourself to seated position. Hands to heart center, and we'll take 2 healing energy sending breaths. On our first breath, seeing someone in our mind's eye who needs a healing energy, inhaling that person into your heart and showering them with beautiful golden light. And our next breath, we'll take our own. The light in me sees and honors the light in each one of you. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today. Namaste. I hope everybody has a great rest of your weekend and a good week ahead, and I will see you next week. Thanks, everybody.